Super Falcons of Nigeria were crowned the champions of WAFCON 2024. Honestly, I thought that was the end because I thought we had done that, we were going home. And surprisingly, when we got back to Nigeria, I just heard that we were going to the presidential villa and we were going to be meeting the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Emmanuel. My name is Mary Akinsola. I'm a Nigerian. I have come back to thank the God of SCOAN, the God of the man in the synagogue, Prophet T.B. Joshua, the God of our mother in the synagogue, Pastor Evelyn Joshua. I have come to thank him for what he has done in my life because it's something I never thought I would ever see happen. Sometime last year, I decided that I wanted to have a change of job. So I left the United Kingdom and I came back to Nigeria because I wanted a break from work, and also I just wanted something different for myself. So getting back to Nigeria, I decided to take a break for a while, and then after taking a break for a while, I decided I needed to just get something doing with myself and just get busy. By profession, I am a sports journalist. So I just basically thought to myself, like, what could I do? I started thinking about it. And then someone reached out to me and told me that there was an opening in the senior women's football national team of Nigeria. That's talking about the Super Falcons of Nigeria. So I reached out and I sent in my application. This was sometime around like early March. But surprisingly, I didn't hear anything back for like a long time. And I kept praying about it over and over again. And I would come to church. During mass prayer, I would pray. On the prayer request, I would write down that I wanted this job over and over again. So all through April, I was doing that and I didn't hear anything. So in my mind, it was the beginning of May. I thought, okay, maybe this job isn't going to work out. I needed to do something else. Sometime in June, I was home, and then I just got a call, and it was from Abuja, and they were like, hello, is this Mary? And I'm like, yeah, this is me. And they're like, we're calling you from the Nigerian Football Federation. You've been appointed as the media manager for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. You know, it was just really surprising, and then I got the job. I went to the prayer mountain. I prayed a whole day at the prayer mountain, and some of the things I prayed to God about was about the fact that I wanted to go with the team to where we were going to have the tournament, and then on getting there, make sure that we win, bring the trophy back to Nigeria, first of all, and apart from that, also pray that we would have a very hitch-free tournament out there. It's going to be great, no injuries, everyone was going to be great. And also because I was going to be meeting the players for the first time, I was praying that everyone's going to be accepting and homely and warm and inviting. And these are the things I prayed about before leaving Nigeria. I got to the host country, met the team, everything went really great. So amazing and so kind and so nice. And we kept on preparing for the tournament. And then tournament started proper. And I remember like one of the things I told God, like before going, I said, God of Prophet T.B. Joshua, God of Pastor Evelyn Joshua, I do not want to ever come back and, you know, take interviews or like press releases and say, oh, this is the reason why Team Nigeria lost at this tournament. I had that prayer over and over again. We began the tournament. We had the first game against Tunisia. I think we won, which was really great. And then we had the second game against Botswana, I think. Yes, and it was really great. We also won. And then we had the third game, which was a game that really turned out to be very dicey. And everyone was really surprised how it went. And although we did qualify for the next round, there were lots of doubts, of course, in the media generally about how good Team Nigeria was in this tournament. And I had to take like lots of interviews, having to convince people that we're fine, we're good, we're great. Because basically in the quarterfinals, we had to play against Zambia. And literally, Zambia was one of the favorites to win this tournament. So going into the game against Zambia, I remember like 2-3 days before the game, I was talking to somebody and the person looked at me and said, oh, you guys are the underdogs at this tournament. And I said to myself, that's quite something, but God has a way of, you know, turning out the things for the underdogs. Remember David and Goliath? And the person laughed about it. And I moved on, and I remember most of the days leading to the game, to that game against Zambia, I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would pray. I'd pray a whole lot with my faith bracelet, minister the anointing water, pray and pray over and over again. Just before we left the hotel, I decided to call the prayer line. And then we prayed together. I was a point of contact to the team, gave me all the words of encouragement I needed, and then we went to the stadium for the game. Now, at the end of the day, as so many people know, we won that game 5-0. So surprising. Nobody expected it. The next one had to be against the defending champions, the people who literally were holding the title. So it was really a big deal. That's talking about South Africa. Going into the game against South Africa, I was really confident. Of course, once again, as usual, I called the prayer line before, in the hotel room before going to the stadium. Called the prayer line as a point of contact, prayed together. And by the time we got to the stadium, I was still feeling really confident, called a couple of people together, we prayed, and we went into the game. First half was really great, we scored, and then there was an equalizer. And just late into the second half, I remember looking at the stadium's stopwatch, and I saw 80. And I told myself, I said, God of T.B. Joshua, I asked one thing on the mountain when I went the other day, and I said, at this tournament, I do not want us to go into either extra time or penalties. Everything we're going to be doing, I want us to do it in regulation time. So I once again just took off my faith bracelet from my hand, and I remember just standing there and holding my faith bracelet right there where I was seated in the stadium, just holding my faith bracelet and just praying and praying and praying and praying. There was this one specific prayer I always also prayed. I always prayed that once we get onto the field of play, I'd say the grass should work for us, the balls should work for us, the officiating, everything in there should work for us. And interestingly, I know so many people saw that one. 93rd minute, we just saw this ball that had a mind of its own. All the way from 35 yards out, it just went straight into goal. Because I remember, I didn't even know who scored. I just jubilated, and everyone just ran around. And it was way after the game, I was who scored that goal again, please? Because I had no idea, because it came from really far away. And that was how we really just made it into the finals of the competition. And it was so great. Now, going into the final, because we're playing against the host nation, it was quite interesting because lots of people had so many things to say about it. Contrary to my usual practice, I was so scared this time that I did not call the prayer line while at the hotel room. I literally forgot to call the prayer line because everything everyone was saying, the calls I was receiving was okay, you guys just go, just do what you can. We know you can't win this one. You'll be fine. You're playing against the host nation. Just, we were proud of you. You've done enough. But I remember every time I would say, God of Prophet T.B. Joshua, God of Mommy Evelyn Joshua, God of Synagogue, you promised me that we were going to come back here with this one. On the day of the final, I remember I couldn't sleep the whole night. I really could not sleep. I was up the whole night just singing and praying and just telling God that, God, you have done this in my life, and I believe that you're not a God that leaves your job half done. You're definitely going to see this thing till the end. And once we were approaching the stadium, the fear began to triple, everything I'd feared before, because I was just saying lots of red colors, and everything was just saying you're not at home. Before we start, we'd go into the pitch just to get a warm feel of the pitch. By the time I walked in, there was this loud noise in the stadium, and I was so scared. I remember just walking, while everyone went to the dressing room, I did not. But at that point in time, then I remembered I hadn't called the prayer line. So I went outside, called the prayer line, and then I told the person at the other end of the line, I told the person I was really scared. The person at the other end of the prayer line said I should put my hands on my chest and then we should pray together, which was what we did. I went back into the stadium and the game started. For most people who saw that game, we went down 2 goals in the first half. I remember I had lots of texts from people in the halftime telling me that it's over. And I was I don't believe it's over. Second half of that game, I remember just standing. I removed my fit bracelet. I stood all through the next 45 minutes, and I was praying with my fit bracelet. And as God will have it, 61st minute, we got a penalty. 77th minute, we got an equalizer. And in the 88th minute, God just completed his work, and we scored. And literally, Super Falcons of Nigeria were crowned the champions of WAFCON 2024. And it was so great. And honestly, I thought that was the end, because I thought we had done that, we were going home. And surprisingly, when we got back to Nigeria, I just heard that we were going to the presidential villa, and we were going to be meeting the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And we got there, I got to meet the president. I shook hands with the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which was way beyond my imagination. And I just want to thank the God of SCOAN. I want to thank the God of the man in the synagogue. I want to thank the God of our Mommy Evelyn Joshua, because he never failed me, because I called upon him on behalf of the team, and I said, your daughter is here, and he stood with us. He went before us, and he made a way. And I really would like to dedicate this medal, this winner's medal, to God. I would like to dedicate it to Daddy, the man in the synagogue, Prophet T.B. Joshua. I would also like to dedicate this medal to our mommy, the woman in the synagogue, Mommy Evelyn Joshua. And I would want to say thank you so much for heeding the call of God. Because of you heeded the call of God, today we are standing, and we have all of these promises, and we enjoy all of these blessings. Thank you so much.
Let's put our hands together for Jesus Christ.
This was me at the presidential villa, where we had a state event with the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This is my accreditation tag during the tournament. This is me after the game. I look a little bit tired, with my medal, just, taking a few pictures to commemorate the moment. This is me with the WAFCON trophy and also my medal. And this is me with the governor of Ondo State, because he also welcomed the indigents of Ondo State, which I happen to be one of them, after the tournament. And also right here is me with the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and our team captain. When we got to the presidential villa, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria bestowed upon all of us on the team a national award. So currently, I am Officer of the Order of the Niger, OON, and I am so proud and also so thankful to God for this honor that he has bestowed to me. Talking about my advice to everyone, I think first I would say my advice is to parents listening to me right now, when your children have a passion, please support them, because I had a passion for writing. Despite the fact that I was a science major all through my life, I decided I wanted to do journalism, and my parents supported me. So thank you so much to my parents. They're out there. They're right there in the congregation. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mom, for supporting me and letting me follow my passion, which has led me thus far. And also, I'd say my other advice to everyone is this: never give up. Don't ever doubt the power of the Most High God, because once he says it, he definitely will do it.
Y acabamos de escuchar el maravilloso testimonio de Mary, que viene de Nigeria a dar un testimonio de victoria internacional. Ella estaba apoyando un equipo de fútbol de mujeres, pero la cosa estaba realmente estancada para su vida y para el equipo. Hasta que empezó a llamar a la línea de oración de la SCOAN, finalmente vino y recibió ese toque divino en la línea de oración. Ha habido un progreso, un antes y un después. El equipo ha ido de victoria en victoria y él nos muestra la medalla que viene y ofrece en memoria del profeta T.B. Joshua y de la pastora Evelyn Joshua por este gran avance. Aconseja que cualquiera que sea la pasión de los hijos padres, acompáñenle, porque en el nombre de Jesús hay victoria. Vemos en pantalla todos los momentos en los que ella ha sido reconocida con su equipo, con figuras presidenciales de alto standing de aquí, de Nigeria y del gobierno. Damos toda la gloria a Dios por la vida de Mari y su hermoso testimonio.
Les spectateurs du monde entier, ceci est l'extraordinaire et puissant témoignage de Marie. Elle dit que voilà, sa vie était stagnante, sa carrière était stagnante, mais Dieu a utilisé le moyen d'Emmanuel TV, l'eau d'onction, la montagne de prière de la Synagogue Église de toutes les nations pour apporter la restauration et la percée dans sa vie. C'est là qu'elle a pu rejoindre l'équipe de foot féminine. Elle dit que voilà, à travers l'eau d'onction, elle priait constamment pour son équipe au nom de Jésus-Christ. Ils ont eu une victoire extraordinaire. Ils ont même gagné la finale. Elle est ici aujourd'hui. Elle tient le médaille à la gloire de Dieu. Elle rend toute la gloire à Dieu. Elle vous encourage tous de croire en Dieu et encourage les parents de toujours soutenir vos enfants. Téléspectateurs du monde entier, rendons gloire à Dieu pour ce merveilleux témoignage.